African mothers. Who actually do us this? What am I saying? Hmm. Our African mothers believe that if you don't hit a child, I mean, if you don't flog a child, that child will not listen or will not hear whatsoever they are talking about or they are saying. As in a layman's word, it means flogging the child, make the pikin forget sense. I hope a lot of us parents, when they watch this video, understand what I am saying. What I mean is this: an African mother believes in a different method of discipline, that is, hitting the child or flogging the child. And this is one of the reasons why the children of this generation don't actually listen to their parents or become more stubborn because of the way we insert discipline as a parent. And who told us as a parent that flogging your child is the best way to enact discipline? I'm just asking and I'm being curious. Well, I went out today and I saw a group of women discussing and telling us how they were being beaten up when they were young because of they termed them stubborn. And in the process, that is how they changed. And now when they start having children, you will see them, that is what they want to do. They will make sure they flog rubbish out of their child's body or beat what we call beat mumu comot for their body. And I was like, no, that is not the right thing to do. And the next thing they said, no, madam, you shouldn't say that. That their parents beat them, their parents disciplined them, and that's why they are where they are today. And because of that, they will actually do the same thing to their children. And I was wondering, who do us this one? There are better ways of inserting discipline in our children other than flogging. I'm not saying don't flog your children. Yes, there are some children that if you don't touch light a little, they don't even understand what you are saying. By the time you just tap them a little, they will understand. But at what extent do you do it? Do you do it to the extreme, or you do it just once in a while, intermittently, or you don't do it at all? As a mom and as a parenting coach, there is something I have come to realize, that if you feel beating your teenagers is the best way to go, then you are making a very big mistake. What am I saying? As they are growing up, yes, you could threaten them with cane, you could hit them for them to understand what you are trying to tell them. But as they grow up, you have to start devising another means of discipline apart from flogging. You see, I once had a friend that always hit her son. I think I've said it in one of my previous videos. She always hit her son and she thought it was the best way to go because the guy is a boy, he's a guy. And if the guy just mess up, you see the mom trying to say, okay, let's throw blow, I will hit you. And the boy keep telling the mom, stop it, mommy, don't do this, I don't like it. But the mom never listened. She felt that the only way to just discipline the son is whenever the boy heard is just to hit him. And there was this day, immediately she raised her hand, the boy grabbed the mom and pushed her. And she fell. And she started shouting, oh, you've killed me. I'm going to tell you that I'm your mom. This and this. And when she brought the story to me, I started laughing because I told her, remember when I told you that you should devise another means of correcting this boy, not hitting, because if you do so, then you have a lot coming your way. And this is one of the lots that is coming your way. Don't worry, tomorrow he might decide to carry you and tell you, mommy, stop that thing and becoming a big boy. That is one of the things a lot of us African parents don't actually see whenever we want to insert discipline to our children. Discipline is good. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is not being emotional towards anything. It's a way of correcting a child. And let me tell you the simple truth. You will correct your child. And there are ways you correct your child. If you feel that hitting your child is the best way to correct your child, to what extent? To what extreme? You see, a lot of us, we hit our children to the extent that you start seeing the mark on the child's body. My dear, you are not doing parenting, no. You are not even doing correction. What you are doing is transferring of anger to that child. Maybe the child doesn't even know why you are angry, and the child doesn't even know why you are hitting her or him because of the extent you've actually gone through. Yes, I'm making sense. And please, if you've watched to this extent and you've not subscribed, please subscribe, drop a meaningful comment, and also share this video to a parent that needs this video. Yes, a lot of parents are actually doing the wrong thing when it comes to teaching our children discipline. Yes, flogging them mercilessly. Like I said, I will not still refute the part that yes, you should flog your child, but I'm still saying to what extent, at what stage, at what age. You can't start flogging a teenager. At that time, you are not even doing the right thing. You are causing more problem to yourself because that child will be distant. That child will feel embarrassed. That child will feel that you are not hearing what he or she is saying. That child will feel cheated because most of the things you are even hitting the child for might not even be what the child actually did. I'm making sense here. You might also believe, yes, I'm actually telling you the truth. So, like those women I met in the market, like I tried to tell them, I said, before you start hitting your child, can I tell you something? Are you the one that actually brought up that child? That's where we are having issues. When we bring in people to our home and maybe to come and help us, and at the end of the day, they are not used to the life we are living here. Then you start seeing yourself getting angry, and the next thing you start using cane, and you start shouting, she is too stubborn, he doesn't listen. The truth is that child is coming from a different environment entirely, and you are introducing the child to a different environment. Let's say, for example, you brought in a child from the village, and that child now is leaving the village to the city. That child had never witnessed city life, and all through that child's life, everything they do in the village is a different ballgame entirely. Maybe the mother in the morning they just go to farm and come back eat, and the next thing they start living their reckless life. And now you are bringing this child to a well-defined home. My dear, you will have a lot of problem, a big problem for that matter, because this child is not used to the life you are about introducing him or her to. What do you need at this time? That means you will need patience. You will need a lot of talking, because if you said you want to be whipping that child, you will whip until you disfigure the child. And moreover, everybody have different parenting style. Maybe where that child is coming from, the mother never told the child, don't go here, don't do this, or this is what you should do. And now you are bringing the child to where rules and regulations are being maintained. My dear, forget you will have issues, because that child actually might not have even seen places where they give rules and regulation. No, that child doesn't even know how to even put on a gas cooker. All the life, it has always been, yes, all through her life, it has always been used firewood. So what do we say? And that is why I'm saying, if you are bringing a child from outside to your house, that means there are issues that you are going to face. But let's take another example. If you are the one that actually gave birth to that child, and that child, you brought up that child yourself, I bet you might not be going extreme in disciplining that child. Do you know why? Because the child knows your rules and your regulation. Yes, the child will hear. The child will always behave like a child. The child will misbehave, but the child will not become extreme except you never did a good parenting, except you were never there, except you were never there to caution the child, or you just left the child to live his or her life. And by the time you see that things are no longer going your way, you decide to come and retrieve your step and start doing a proper parenting. My dear parents, you will have issues, a big one for that matter. And that is why I want to tell you that instead of you flogging, there are ways you can insert discipline on that child without you losing your cool and without you going extreme. The first thing on my list is communication. You see, we don't have time to communicate. We African parents, a lot of us, we don't have that patience. We are forgetting we are dealing with fellow human beings and not animals. The next thing you start seeing us shouting on our voice, trying to use the whip or using other method to discipline our children. The truth is this: if you start communication, early communication with your child, you will not have issues. All you just have to do is, whenever there is a problem, you see the child out, what went wrong? What is it that you are doing what is happening that is making you act like this? Or is it coming from our side? So with that, you are able to see that the child with communication, the child will not be behaving well, and also you will not be understanding your teenager better than you do. Another thing, a lot of us don't really admit our fault. We feel that anything that happens is the fault of the children, especially the teenagers. But the truth is this: your child is misbehaving, and you are flogging the child as if the child is an animal. Why not ask yourself, what is it that I am doing wrong that is making this child act this way? That is one of the problems we are having as African parents. We don't always tell ourselves the truth. We feel that everything that happens is the child or the teenager's fault, but actually it is your fault. You will not understand. So check yourself and see why that child is behaving and why you keep flogging. If you check yourself, you find out that the method of parenting is actually not compatible with that child. By the time you sit down and tell yourself, I keep hearing, I keep flogging. Oh, did I even listen to the child's own aspect of the story before inserting this discipline? By the time you start looking at this thing, then you understand where I'm coming from. If you've watched to this extent and you've not still given us a subscribe, please don't forget to do so. And also drop a meaningful comment. Above all, I want you to share this video to someone that needs this video. A parent out there actually need this video because a lot of us a lot of us African parents feels that flogging is the best way to do when it comes to correction and in parenting. I also go back to those women I met on the market. What was happening? Oh, my father flogged me, so therefore I must flog my children. No, it is not a must. Because your father flogged you does not make it right. And now you bringing it to your child does not make it good because you might end up contradicting the whole thing. And that is why you see children become far from their parents. They will keep to themselves because they feel that they are being victimized. And you, the parents, don't even know that that is what they feel. This is me telling you from the aspect of teenagers that we've interviewed, that a lot of them will say, they keep flogging me, but they never listen to my side of the story. And this is one bad thing that a lot of us parents are actually doing. So please, parents, if you've listened to this side, why not try changing your aspect, your approach to punishment? Why not just try seeing another different method that will work? Yes, because of these teenagers of this generation, the way they are being groomed, the way they are so exposed, there are a lot of things you don't do to them that by the time you start doing such, you see them, they start giving you gap. And at the end of the day, you might end up losing your child because of your attitude. And this is me begging you that no, because your parents flog you does not mean that you will. Because your parents gave you mark does not mean that you will do the same to your child. And sometimes that child you are saying is stubborn, that child you are saying does not listen. Have you really checked if that child does not have medical issues? I keep saying it in most of my posts that a lot of our children have medical issues when it comes to their earrings, and we don't know. Not until you go do findings, then you start seeing the effect. Because I know of someone that keep complaining, and by the time the person came, I decided to say, okay, let me give you an advice. Have you gone to see an ENT doctor to actually know if this child is stubborn or has hearing problem? And lo and behold, by the time the mother came, it was a thank you because they detected that whenever the child gives you her back, that child end up not knowing what is happening. Everything that you say does not enter the ear. It was an abnormality. It was a problem. But the mother never knew. All she keeps saying, oh, she's too stubborn. She doesn't hear. If I say A, she will do D. So this is another avenue for you to know if that child is actually stubborn or you are beating that child free of charge. Yes, a lot of us beat our children, hit our children free of charge for crime they know not, they did not do, and they don't even know how it ended there. And that is why I'm saying, because your father beats you, not me say you will beat that child. The children of this generation different from the generations we are coming in. And the truth is this, our parents, all they know those days was flogging is the best way of inserting correction or discipline. But now, this generation, we've now been made to understand that there are various methods or in certain discipline apart from flogging the child. So if you look at the way, there are ways you could enact discipline that the child will wish, why not flog me than you doing this to me? With this, you will be able to know what is best for your child. And please let nobody deceive you to say that you have to flog your child for your child to have sense. No, my dear, not be goat, not be fowl or sheep or cow wey you dey beat like say no be person born am. Na person still push am for 9 months. Have a beautiful day and please don't forget to subscribe and share this video to someone that needs it. This is Mom of Things. I am Omoye Awodo. Until I come your way, please stay tuned to Mom of Things. Have a beautiful day ahead. Thank you.